You don't gotta believe, cause hate is what I'm rolling on. Come on. I love the life I live. Being scared won't hold me back. I gotta fight my fears. My creative juices flowing, can't be like my peers. Cause the bullshit.
What is up, everyone? It's DJ Garcia, Remy Garcia. Today we are going to review Star Wars, no, it's actually Rogue One, a Star Wars story. I also gotta warn you guys, I will be talking spoilers, so you will have to have watched it if you are watching this video. As you know, I'm gonna talk to you like you've seen it. But just know that I loved it. It's great. I want to go see it again. I immediately wanted to go see it as soon as it was finished. There's a lot of stuff to talk about, so we're gonna start with it right now. So first off, the first pro that I have is just the story. The story of Rogue One is just so fitting. I mean, it fits with Star Wars, and it really is a prequel. It's not too much of a prequel. You want to know why I say that? Because look, as you guys know, if you've seen it, the ending of this movie is literally, it's like minutes before the beginning of A New Hope. There's only like a couple of minutes of a gap between the two movies, Rogue One and Star Wars A New Hope. And so it's just very, it felt connected. Like if you watched A New Hope, you're gonna have to watch Rogue One first and then watch Star Wars 4. Like it's that connected, man. And so just the story was interesting, just to see how the rebels captured the Death Star plans. It connects. Also, we do get explanation as to why there is a flaw in the Death Star. Now you have Rogue One in 2016, and we get an explanation as to why there is a flaw in the Death Star, which eventually, in the timeline, Luke is able to take advantage of and blows up the Death Star. The second thing is the characters. The characters are very interesting. First off, K2SO, I think, didn't think he'd be an actual character in the movie. I mean, I think a lot of people didn't expect him to be in it too much. He really was. He felt like a main character, just, you know, a droid. And he was pretty funny. That was another positive I have. He was very funny. You know, he brought a lot of comedy to the movie. Jyn Erso, just her story and everything is just, it's amazing. All the other characters like Cassian, and then of course you got the blind guy. Don't know how to say his name, but you guys know the blind guy with the stick. And then Malbus, he has like this super like this gun that's like a laser and it shoots really fast. I thought like that was a cool gun. I've never seen that gun before. It was pretty cool. Like the characters are very interesting, especially even Krennic. You know, even the enemy of the movie is very interesting. I really liked his character. Not all of them were developed, but I did like all of the characters. Basically, something else which I really love. This is the first time we've seen this. The rebels are different. We actually see, you know, a war film. This is a war film. It's not like lightsabers or using the Force. I mean, there's a little bit in it, you guys know what I mean, but it's not like the Skywalker main story, like the main episodes. That's why it's called Rogue One. It's not like a main episode. It's a standalone film. It is a war movie, guys. I'm telling you, you know, this really felt like a war film. The rebels in this movie are shown differently, because it's shown like first off, Cassian, he kills a guy. He shoots him in the back, kind of in the beginning of the film when we first introduced him. And then later on, he gets ordered to kill Jyn's father. And he's gonna do it. He almost does it. They do these things because it's war, and they have to do it. You know, like we see that they don't want to. He even says it when he's arguing with Jyn. He says, you know, I've lost everything. And, you know, we feel for them, right? They're soldiers. They have to do things. But they're doing it for a greater cause. They're doing it in order to win. The next thing is the cameos. You guys, I mean, these are just the coolest things to me. First off, we have Mon Mothma. And she was an actual character in here. It wasn't really a cameo. It was more just, I mean, she wasn't in it too much, but she was in it. She had lines. She served story. You had Bail Organa, which I thought would just be a cameo too, but he had only a couple lines. I guess I would consider him a cameo, but it was nice to see him. Like, it was cool to see the character. C-3PO and R2-D2, that is something I did not expect in the movie. I didn't think they would be in it. And it was just nice to see them. It was pretty good comedy moment. It was just so nice. And then you had the first cameo, I think, of the movie that I noticed. Dr. Everson. He eventually runs into Luke at a bar, and he kind of picks a fight with him, and then Obi-Wan slices his arm off. And it was cool because in this movie, I saw him and I recognized him. I recognized him, dude, and his friend. And he bumped into Jyn, and he kind of said like, "Hey, watch it." And it was just so cool to see that little cameo, man. I thought it was pretty fun. And then of course you got the main one, I think, the ending of the movie. Leia, Princess Leia. Didn't think she'd be in it either. I mentioned it to my dad before we went to see the movie. I mentioned it. I said, what if she's in it? and she was for like 5 seconds. For the story, I don't think you needed it, but it was just nice to throw in there for the fans, right? Just to have this awesome moment, because I was geeking out. No doubt, I was geeking out when I saw her. Obviously, it wasn't Carrie Fisher, but damn, it was Princess Leia, and I was just like freaking out, man. It wasn't necessary to have her in there, but it was in there. But because she was in there, it just made the experience even better. So now we come to the biggest pro, I think, of this movie, and I was so excited. This is probably the reason I went to go see Rogue One. And I think it's the reason a lot of you went to go see Rogue One. Darth Vader, just the character of him being in it. It made sense for him to be in it, man. Let me explain something to you if you're not that, big on Star Wars. Darth Vader is supposed to be the scary, terrifying, menacing guy. We just never seen it in the original films. Like, we've seen him, but he only has his fights with Obi-Wan, a quick one, and Luke Skywalker. So this is before those original films. We actually see him as scary and menacing. Obviously, we have the big scene at the end, which is actually another pro. The last 10 minutes of the film are like the best. Like, just 10 minutes are the best. So we obviously have him, and he shows up with his lightsaber, breathing and shit, and he just destroys a whole bunch of rebels. He kills the hell out of them. That scene alone is worth going to see Rogue One. Just that little scene is worth going to see the movie. Like, they made the scene so scary and menacing. I felt scared. Like, I felt scared when, like, it kind of got dark, and then you just saw nothing, because he's wearing all black, and he's a tall dude, and then he's like the best guy with a lightsaber in the universe. And his lightsaber just comes out and it's all red, and then you see the light from the lightsaber and you see his suit and everything, and that was the scariest shit I've ever seen. That could have been a scary movie. And that's how he's supposed to be. He's supposed to be menacing, and we finally saw it. We finally saw him as brutal and aggressive, because he kills these people, guys. He kills them. We kind of get that in the prequels when he's Anakin Skywalker. He kind of kills a bunch of kids and shit. But we never see that as Darth Vader. We never see Darth Vader and the guy in a suit as like brutal and aggressive and ruthless. Until now, until this scene, we actually finally saw him as brutal. Here's something, if you guys didn't notice, which I noticed when I watched it, because I was freaking the fuck out on this scene. Vader had his hand like this, and he had his lightsaber doing whatever the fuck he was doing. What he did was he caught a laser in his hand. You guys are gonna think I'm bullshitting. Someone shot a laser at him. He basically caught it in his hand using the Force, and then he flew it back out, and the laser flew back out with his hand. He used the Force to move it, and it hit the soldier who shot it in the first place. If you don't believe me, go find this video if it's still on YouTube and just look for it. And when he's doing this, he basically caught a laser in his fucking hand. That to me is the most badass thing you can ever do. That to me is scary. If you were shooting at him, because he can just catch a laser. I mean, it's, oh my god. And I remember just seeing that, and then I remember coming home and watching it just to make sure that really happened. But the cinematography, this movie is beautiful to look at. Like, it's well shot. I can tell from the trailers that it was just well shot. It's perfect, especially that ending scene with Cassian and Jyn holding hands on the beach. When you see all that destruction coming toward them, and they're about to die, like, it's a beautiful scene. I mean, it's very sad too. That's also another positive. The emotion in this movie it's also a negative, but that part was very emotional. I was just so beautiful, and that's the word that comes to mind. It's just beautiful. It was nice to look at. I mean, it was well shot, this movie, and that's a lot of positives. That's basically the positives. I'm pretty sure I left out a lot of stuff. Tarkin, for one, I just memorized. He was an actual character in this movie. He served a story, and I like how they used him. And so now we're gonna move on to basically like 3 cons. And let me just clarify that these cons or negatives, they're not really that big of a negative. Like, they're just light negatives. For one, CGI, of course, on Tarkin. I mean, it's noticeable, but it's something, of course, like I said, it's not that big of a deal. Like, it's just noticeable a little bit. Princess Leia, of course, you notice the CGI on her. I noticed it when I first saw it. I was geeking out when I saw her, but I did notice that it just looked off. And I was like, I understand why, though, because, of course, you can't have Carrie Fisher play her, younger self, or use her voice. But like I said, it's not that big of a deal. The next con, though, is developed characters. Like I said earlier, I like all the characters, but some of them are not really developed. So we all know that they all die. some of their deaths did not really make an impact on me. Like, it didn't feel emotional. The only ones that were developed pretty good were Jin and Cassian, basically the two main characters, you know. To me, that's why their death was like the most emotional to me. When they had their death scene on the beach holding hands, to me it was just very sad. You know, it was just, I liked all those characters. Again, I said I liked all of them. It's just when they died, didn't really feel that much of emotion. It was only Jin and Cassian, you know, that's when I was like that's when I was kind of like, aw. But that's really it. That's really all of my review. That's really all the cons, you know, not too big of a con. Mostly positive. I do want to go see this movie again. I need someone to go see it with me. So that is my review for Rogue One: A Star Wars Story. If you haven't seen it, but you watched the video anyway, go watch it. Like I said, it's different than watching a review. Go watch the movie for yourself. If you guys like my review for this movie, please give this video a like. It really helps me out. Comment down below. Let me know what you think about Star Wars Rogue One. If you've seen it, if you want to see more on my channel, please subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.